What's up, you guys? Thank you for clicking on this video. So as you can tell by the title, what could make Transformers Cyberworld work? Now, for those of you who don't know, this is going to be the next Transformers cartoon taking over after the cancellation of EarthSpark next year. And we already have some listings for the toy line and stuff. There's some interesting characters listed like Galvatron, Skybite, Mirage. So there's a lot of potential with how they could handle the characters in the story, but obviously it's all about what they do with these characters and what story they write. At the end of the day, Transformers fans, we just want a good story, something that we could watch after having, a busy day or a bad day or whatever, just something to take your mind off of something that is actually good quality. And when you're a Transformers fan, you obviously want something that is good quality. You don't want to have another EarthSpark. It's just something that we have to keep in mind on what we could see and what we, or just me personally, would like to see to make this a good Transformers cartoon. And I guess the first thing that comes to mind is not retreading the same ground the last 40 years, basically. I know some of this is probably going to be the case, and we need some of the same old retreading as well, just for some brand familiarity and not straying too far away from what makes Transformers, like having factions like Maximals, Predacons, Autobots, Decepticons, that legacy sort of lore to the franchise. You could create new factions and stuff, keeping certain characters around. I'm not saying we need Optimus and Bumblebee and Megatron and Starscream again, but keeping familiar characters here and there, maybe bring in a B, C-list character that fans would already know from previous eras of the franchise, bringing in something that is different to the point where it doesn't stray too far away from what makes Transformers loved, but also bringing in something that captivates old fans and brings in new fans. And I feel like that's something that Transformers cartoons have not done a great job at doing in recent years since Prime ended. And frankly, it started when Prime began. You're hot off the heels of animated, and then that gets canceled and you go into Prime. If you watch the two cartoons, there really is a bit of a quality difference in terms of the storytelling and the way the characters are handled. It's a lot more, I guess you could say, stripped back, but I'm not sure if that's the right word to use here to describe it. But it feels like animated was a bit better in terms of character arcs and where they went with the story than with Prime, because a lot of it was just MacGuffins and artifact chasing, which was more in line with the movies, which is what they wanted to do with Prime, obviously. But if you compare the two shows back to back, obviously animated had a bit better quality in terms of storytelling and how they handled the characters. So in reality, it kind of did start with Prime, in my opinion, but that was still a great show. It wasn't until R.I.D. 2015, which was the terrible sequel, and then Cyberverse was good, but it was still nothing really mind-blowing. It was just a safe, good show to watch sometimes. And then here we are with EarthSpark. It divided the fans, and it wasn't really all that great to begin with. It's getting low ratings because it's basically a streaming subscription exclusive, which is really dumb. And, it just wasn't that great of a captivating story. Now, I don't think Season 1 of EarthSpark was all that bad, but it's the newer stuff, and I haven't seen, Season 3. I really have no plans on doing so, because I really wasn't all that grabbed by Season 2, so it's really not a show that really just interests me. And I know for a fact I'm not the only one. There's thousands upon thousands of Transformers fans that feel the exact same way as I do, because nobody is watching the show. Literally nobody was talking about the new season. And that's another thing. Do not make it streaming exclusive, basically. I know they did have certain showtimes on Nickelodeon at the start, but at this point, you basically got to get Paramount Plus to watch the show, and it's freaking ridiculous. No one wants to pay 10, 15 bucks a month to watch a mediocre cartoon that isn't even great to begin with, in my opinion at least. So hopefully this new cartoon is just aired on cable as all the other cartoons were, and obviously have the streaming option as well. I think having both options is the best way to go, because there are a lot of people that don't use cable anymore because of streaming. It is what it is. It's the times we live in. So I think having both options is really the best of both worlds in handling, the new era, because there are still a lot of people that use cable and don't really care about streaming stuff. There's still a lot of people who buy DVDs. So I think catering to both worlds is where you're going to get the better reception and viewership with this cartoon, and not really shoehorning in stuff that doesn't really matter to the story at all. Like, you're trying to bring in this legacy stuff from G1 over these last few cartoons and trying to keep the same stuff familiar to the point where it just doesn't make for a story that matters, or you could completely take out certain things that they introduce into the cartoon and it would make no difference. Now, I'm not saying I'm somebody who's offended by the pronouns in EarthSpark, and I'm not some crazy conservative talking the same old stuff that they do online and Twitter and stuff. No, I'm just saying that, they gutted the pronoun thing in other iterations of EarthSpark that was in other countries. I can't remember which ones, but when they took that out, it really changed nothing in the story. So in reality, what are we getting here, What are we getting at in terms of fan division and just stuff that really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things with Transformers? So just keeping it something clean and something that really doesn't divide fans. And, if they put in a pronoun storyline that actually impacted the story in a significant way, that's another story. That would be kind of cool, actually, if they did that. I wouldn't mind seeing that, because it's just blending in with the times, and Transformers has been doing that since the 80s. So they're basically just following the trends of the new generation, and it is what it is. I don't mind it. I don't care. But if it was an actual good inclusion into the story, it would have been a lot better, and they probably wouldn't have gutted it in other countries that aired EarthSpark. Just to bring up another point, there were a lot of racist fans out there, or I'm using air quotes here when I say the word fans, when the whole cast was black for EarthSpark. There were so many comments like, this is woke, they're pandering to black people. It was ridiculous. So I really do feel like just a big FU to fans. If there are any humans in it, just make them all black again. Like, that would be the funniest thing ever, probably. Somebody like me who's half black myself, I just roll my eyes at stuff like this, and it just looks absolutely ridiculous. Like, some of these quote-unquote fans are just showing their whole ass online, and it's just hilarious. Just at the end of the day, whole fact of the matter is, we just want good characters, interesting story, something different, but also not deviating from what makes Transformers what we know it as today. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much the basis of the video here. Let me know down in the comments below, what do you guys want to see in Cyberworld that will actually make it a good cartoon this time around? All my social medias are linked down below, including my email if you guys want to hit me up about business inquiries, if you want to message me about whatever, or if you want to commission a diorama from me, because I make dioramas for people for their stop motions, photography, or irregular display shelves in your homes. You can either hit me up on any of my social media accounts or just email me and we can work out a deal. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. I will catch y'all in the next one. Bye!